Yeah, so all are in now, so good afternoon. And thank you for attending this meeting through Teams so that all of you can meet the people who have been awarded with the CEO's Award for the year 21-22. I would like first to start with our partners in Baroda. We have three nominees from Baroda, and they are as follows. The first person is the combination of Parmar. Come here. And the second person we have along with him is Gokil, right? Goyal. Come. I hope all of you can see him. The presentation about them is being done now. So what really happened here was that we have a 3-stack flow wrap machine that works in Baroda for the new launch of Muskaan in Indonesia. We had a major problem to see how to cope with the launch demand because the 3-stack was not capable when it came to the site to produce the single stack. So these two joined together without waiting for the OE supplier to come. They came and changed. They came and did a great job in reassigning the machine with very simple basic ideas to ensure that the Muskaan can also do the 3-stack and also do the single stack. And a great congratulations, because of this we were able to meet the launch demand in Indonesia on time without fail, including the containers coming and taking the materials to Indonesia. The launch of this product in Indonesia is in this month, after the 16th, and we like to sort of tell Indonesia best of luck, congratulations for this new product in Indonesia. I hope it gives us big volumes in the future. Thank you, Goyal, and thank you, Parmar. Thank you very much. Parmar? Goyal? Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. The next contributor again from our partners in Kunal. Kunal plays a very important role in our whole business that we do with PNG. We have a system whereby we have to have 100% achievement with E2E supply. What do you mean by E2E supply is to ensure that what we produce is available at the retail point when the customer actually wants the product. It is no question of saying, I don't have the product, so come tomorrow. So the whole idea, this was introduced 3 years back as a trial. We did have a lot of problems to see how to bring this E2E because it had to synchronize with the date on which the shipment had to be made, for which the stocks had to reach the depot on a certain date and a certain time. So there's a total synchronization happening from production to actual packing to make it ready for dispatch, getting the container or the vehicle on time to ensure that we achieve the supply on that date, on that time. And our efficiency is basically decided by PNG upon how well we achieve the E2E. They have a system whereby they are able to find out what is the rate of achievement. And this is great to see that Kunal played a very important role in Breach, where we are doing an E2E supply to all the Indian depots, achieve 100% E2E supply with tremendous follow-up with supplier, with not only supplier, with transportation team, material team, date team. There are so many other things that come in for manufacturing. So this is to congratulate Kunal for his excellent support that he has done to the team, and this is Swamy who looks after the plannings made to him. Can we have the next slide? So this is basically to say well done by Digvijay. Well done, Kunal. All the best. Let's do 101 next year. The next we come to Rialto now. We come to Gyanashekar. Gyanashekar joined us now. You've been with us a year now? Come. You've been finished a year with us?
1 year, sir.
1 year? So everybody can see your attractive face. Come and stand here. He has changed the face of of how we look at plastics. Uh, and I have to say that I saw this difference only after he joined, because he took on the initiative to ensure that not only that he is sitting at the vendor's place to ensure supplies, but also to look at what we can do to improve productivity, what we can do to improve mold maintenance, what we can do to do low-cost automation. So the whole gambit, and then make tracking sheets to ensure that we are able to track the activity, which was a very good example, which is now being followed with the other molders too that we have in Chennai as well as in Baroda, which has given us a very good return in terms of the effort that he has done in the first year of its coming to the company. So this is something that we like to show. The first slide is the previous slide. This is the 14 points that he has taken and made improvements, like how to increase productivity in both Excel and Suba, which is in Coimbatore, which he's looking after. Then what does he do with the material waste reduction? Then how to correct cavity loss correction. And then 5S implementation, mold history format, mold painting, insulating, ensuring the nameplate, then the dispatch format when they ship the materials to the site, the mold shout counter, which is very important to check the life of the mold. Then the reports, simple one-page reports, hot run controllers, screw connectors, HRC locations, and finally, recently introducing the crest leash on our on the brush for this is for Queen, right? For Queen for China. Yeah. So we have for the first time entered the Chinese market. So we go into details. This is what he did in the productivity improvement, what he has done, and based on which he now sees a cycle time improvement. He got a PP1 cycle time improvement of 3 seconds and a PP2 cycle time improvement of 2 seconds. So can you imagine that this improvement that we show here actually results in getting more output, so that monthly output has gone up by 3.78 MSUs by this mold in 26 days working. He's done a similar output for Shubha Plastics in 2 molds, where we are producing one of our very important products, which is Taj Super Thin and Taj Light, Taj Neem. What does we do? Taj Light, Taj Neem, Taj Super Thin, and charcoal. Yeah. So these are all big sellers in the market, where he has increased the capacity from 18,500 to a massive 20,000 numbers, monthly increase of 2.16 MSUs, and the next plan is to improve it further to take it to 20,000 per mold. So what he has done is been highlighted here in detail. What are the improvements that he has done and what date he has done. So you can see how detailing he follows the activity that he does. So he has the mold number, then he has the product family, what date he has done, and what is the improvement that he has done, and what will be the increase monthly. So this helps the planner as well as the manufacturing side to ensure whether they can again support another 11.3 MSU of additional demand that keeps coming on forecasting. This is what he's done on the mold without the insulating plate and mold with the insulating plate. What he's trying to do is to avoid the direct transfer of heat from one side to the other, thereby creating other issues in terms of the electrical lines that run inside. So he's done a very simple input, or what I would say is an idea whereby he is introducing a simple insulating plate in between, which does not in any way interfere with the molding sequence, and by then he avoids any breakdown because of electrical issues of the heat that is generated within the mold, and also avoids the mold rust to give any impression on the product. Very simple but very neat. The next one that he did was the screw correction changes instead of the crimping connectors at Shubha. You would like to explain?
Yes, sir. For this connector, we need to insert male and female connector. This screw will come outside sometime. So, which result of the temperature will be reduced or off. But in this case, we can't like that, sir. Here we are using screw for tightening the wires for thermocouple and heater. So there is no issue on this type.
And it is covered.
Yes, sir.
By that what happens is there is no disconnection of the mold, and thereby there is no heat change happening when you are molding the product. Next one. These are the improvements that we did. These are clearly numbered so that we know that if anything is loose, we know which number is loose. So where it goes, very clearly marked. The next one is how he has used the cliche for what did you do here?
Before the first lot, we received a flat click, sir. Due to this one, we can't able to print on the round
On surface. Yeah.
So we request to practice to match the radius with the handle. Second lot, we received the radius handle. We found okay.
So it's matching with the radius of the handle.
Handle, yes.
So this is what he has done in the first year itself. We look forward to much more such ideas coming up. Thank you very much and congratulations. Very much. Next we have Kon Rajesh. Can you come up? Please come up. So Rajesh looks after our bamboo production and is responsible for the whole bamboo area. So would you like to explain what you have done?
Monthly target completed, 100% MPS and zero pallet hold achieved, cost effective ideas is implemented, bin improvement projects implemented, lot coding improvement projects are implemented and success. This is welding material what we are using. This is all issues we have observed. This is the aluminum material. Due to that we get the dirty marks. So it undergoes a rework process and brushes also, lot of rejection also. Then we change it. It's a new material we have introduced. It's a welding material. So it's like a plastic only. So it will not rub in the full brush.
And also it's white in color.
Yes. So there is no dirty marks. It's avoided. Black marks on the handles are eliminated. 2 manpower we are used for the rework process. That's what removed. And cost of one clamping unit in aluminum is 4,000 rupees. This welding material is only 900 rupees. Cost saving also we are cheap.
So you got both manpower as well as cost saving plus quality, all three in one, right?
Yes.
Great.
Logo engraving, migration from offline to online. So initially we started with the manual only. So after trimming it completed, we will do the engraving in the manual process only. We use 3 manpower for this for 3 shifts. So once we got the 730, we had migrated to online process. So once the brush is loaded as 730 for trimming purpose, it's first laser engraving will be done and then we go for trimming. Online, become online.
This is a major change that we did because we used to get a lot of problem with logo missing sometimes because it was the main thing which was because done offline. With this we ensured that it is a continuous line and the logos are there and we have no zero defect. Plus manpower saving.
Manpower. 3 manpower are saved. Logo engraving process. Production is increased and also logo missing is solved. Improvement in tamper evidence sticker machine. So we are used the roller for tapping the sticker into the box itself. So it's worn continuously. That spare 6 times we will roll out in a year. So we use the local sponge type to replace that.
A very simple, very simple idea where he has used a sponge which is used basically by masons for when they after cementing they finish it with this kind of sponge. He has used that sponge. Excellent work. So it's simple, very neat. All it does, it presses the sticker onto the pad.
So the cost saving is it's a cost saving project. This roller is 1,400 rupees and we now we do it for 79 rupees per year. Per year it is 33,000 rupees the cost.
Great. So this is what is a summary that you've done.
Yes.
That's more than that's quite close to a lakh. 99. It's close to a lakh.
9 lakhs,
9 lakhs.
10 lakhs, 1 million.
Close to 10 lakhs.
Yes.
Great job. Well done. This has been an exceptional year for Venkatraman, not only for him but also for our site. because in our Greenco getting the platinum, Venkatraman played a very major role because all the pointers towards Greenco regarding power, electricity usage was all were a major contributor to get our platinum. I'll ask Venkat to explain what he did. Come Venkat, can you tell us what he did?
So in the Greenco audit, majorly we have done the VSD compressor. So before we are using fixed compressor and plus VSD compressor. So that time we need to manpower operation during the depend upon the demand fluctuation like shift wise, first shift, second shift, night shift. So after installation BFD, it will take full control. There is no need manpower operation, whatever demand. So this is a major power consumption. Then we installed a rooftop solar installation. So it will nearly 7% of savings or total electricity bill consumption. Phase 2 solar 460 kilowatt installed recently and started the last month. So nearly the 16% electricity saving in the total bill of electricity. So both phase 1, phase 2. So totally 25% power saving our total bill consumption. Compressor, so regular maintenance and demand control everything. So we maintain the AC regularly, maintain the temperature, AC maintenance, everything.
So this has been a major improvement in terms of our going green and not depending upon power and going more on solar. We are now currently at 25% of our capacity on solar, but I think by the end of the year we will go around to 52% because we will be now also getting power from private source. So we are now invested in that company and then we get solar power from them. So we will become 50% in terms of solar. We have major solar. Thank you very much, Venkat.
Thank you.
Rajiv works with us in HR. His responsibility is to ensure that all our facilities are regularly looked after and are regularly kept at the required rate and what is required. Because we have now 15 buildings which we use as our facility or hostels to keep our workmen and our work ladies. And have been very active also in all other CSR projects that we have in and around our site, which is in Kerambakam. There are 2 schools, then we have a pond, and then we have a temple that we're looking after. So he takes the responsibility for ensuring that there are no gaps. So basically what he does is that he facilitates all our CSR activity, all our housekeeping activity, as well as ensuring that everything that runs to the required facility that is required in terms of cleanliness, making it COVID free, in terms of spraying, ensuring that the toilets are clean, well maintained, the rooms are well maintained, and also look after our CSR activity. This is what he does. He helps us when we are vaccinating people at our site. As you know that we get the vaccination group come into our site and we plan the vaccination at our site. So no going from here to another place for vaccination. They come and do it here ourselves. These are, I was telling you, number of buildings. We are 18, we have more than 150 toilets and urinals to be maintained. Weekly cleaning and sanitation done regularly and reporting this on a regular basis. The most reliable mail that you can get every Sunday evening. Don't get nervous, next time you have to get that. We have Rajesh next. Rajesh works in our NPD. And his basic responsibility is for new product development as well as RCLA, the cost saving ideas that we have every year, which delivers more than $3 to $4 million saving to the business. When you do this kind of work, it requires a lot of follow-up and it requires a lot of action in terms of what is required from the vendor, what changes are required, when does it come, what testing has to be done. So it requires a very close follow-up to ensure that it is done. So he will explain to you what he does.
We developed 3D drawings and for the farming tool and another thing. It is with the PNG to directly to the supplier. We didn't have a copy on this. And to develop a new supplier for this, we need to ask the 3D to them from the supplier and then get to another supplier. It is risky. Then I am going to take that all the 3Ds of the blister drawing and kept it to a drive with our access to our peoples to access easily to give another development to another supplier or our. And then
No, go back.
and then film reduction. This is a point of RCLA last year. This is 0.4 to 0.3. In the diamond pack, we are going for 0.4 previously. Now we do that 0.3 to reduce the blister. That we completed moving to 0.3. That is also saving. And DB from the last year, this year going to be huge for us. There are lots of developments and also new projects also there. RCLA also there. We doing DV for every change, and also we doing the PQ and EO and all other things are be there.
Process in any change of material or process goes into a big circle, because it has to start with a basic EO run. It's a small run where to see that what we are trying to do is successful or not. If it is found successful, then it goes on to the DV for making the design validation of that change. After that, design validation is changed and we get R&D approval. Then it goes into the IQ, OQ, PQ process. All of you know the IQ, OQ, PQ process of us, which is very detailed. And thereafter, only after the PQ is approved, can this be product actually change in our BOM and then taken up for production. And thereafter again, for the first 3 months, we will track the performance of this product, of the change that we did. And we find, even though PQ has passed, we find no problems in the next 3 months. Then when we would say, okay, this is now good, let the drawing move now without any further correction. This is how the whole process works.
Next is this filament source. This is also a part of RCLA. We moved filament source change for the cost saving. We did lots of, here there is 20 families are there. If for the 20 families, each color need to be developed in one supplier to another supplier. We need to get the filaments and then complete and get the approval from R&D. Then once it got approved, then we move for a next step as a EO. And then EO and PQ as like that. These are the follow-ups I have did last year.
Thank you, Rajesh. It's a lot of work. We next have Gurumurthy from our lab. Gurumurthy works in our lab downstairs, and basically when we get any new products, it has to be tested, validated, checked, and also regular checking, and also all the new things that we bring in, like studies that we have to do in terms of improvement of our processes, in which our lab requires to give us a lot of data as back papers to see what we are doing. I will ask him to now explain what he has done for this year.
As part of RCLA, we have been doing a lot of projects regarding the blister and all. For the qualification of Queen and MBC refill, we have checked all those kind of dimension X and Y dimensions reports and all, and successfully completed, and also cross-verified with R&D to capture those points in the pitch dimensions and also other part of dimensions.
In fact, there's a very nice story that I like to say at this point. When we were doing this new product for Queen, we did the X and Y dimension check at our end, and we found that there was a variation in the check, and R&D in Kronberg in Germany was not willing to accept that as a variation, because they had already done a similar inspection at their end. They asked us to give our data, also from our previous experience as well as with fresh experience. This data was shared, and they came back and said, yes, what you say is correct. There is a dimensional variation between the first mold and the second mold, but this dimensional variation is a small matter which will not affect the product or the pull-off strength in any manner, and hence what you have done is correct, and we will change the drawing accordingly. This shows the accuracy of testing that we do at our end as compared to what Kronberg does, and this is really a big feather in the cap of the lab, because this kind of minor changes, minor variations cannot be easily noticed or it could be overseen when you make the report. Very well done. Yeah.
The part of loose vessel study, we all know that this complaint has been raising huge factor. So for this, from the R&D we have did some kind of study related, and we have done all those studies, and we positively get those results in for the loose vessels.
On this loose whistles, this was a global initiative that was done. The loose whistles we get it as customer complaint. So all the factories, all the sites were involved, but the only site that could actually find out what was wrong with the product was Rialto site and the lab, because we did 5 studies of this, and in all the phases we were able to highlight a certain point that had to be looked into in greater detail. So every phase you look at that point and come to a stage where on the final phase 5 we concluded what could be the main issue and how this could be resolved and what should be the resolution. And this was submitted to PNG, which was very highly appreciated by all, because they didn't get this kind of data from any other site. And this is again another big feather in our cap.
And as part of QA agreement, we have major 5 suppliers, and we have successfully completed the agreement with them and got the certificate also for tough retention. Actually, this was earlier we were using this kind of fixture in the tough retention machine. Using this, we have this shaking in the brush head, and also time consumption is very high while doing the tough retention test method. Also, in our test method, there is one point like the tough to hold should be exactly parallel. Axis should be parallel while we pull out. But here we couldn't get that kind of arrangement in this fixture. What I have done here is made this X and Y movement in the fixture, and also there is no lock in the head portion. That is also mentioned in our test method. So considering our test method, I have done this, and it is easy to use and also time saving. And that as said, slider in the X and Y, we can move the head portion while doing the test, and it will automatically move towards the direction, and axis is parallel to the tough tool. So we are getting this, getting the result of the tough retention much better than the previous picture. That's what we had. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is a great news. All the best, team. Thank you, Guru.
I would like to thank.
Thank you.
This has been a pleasure to me to receive such award from our CEO, and also Arun sir, Ram sir, and Lakshman sir have been a great support to me. So that is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we have Madam Sindhu. So she joined us and had a very big responsibility to increase our NEEM trainees. NEEM trainees, as you know, are technical trainees which the government of India is promoting to ensure improvement in technical skills of technical people who are either diploma holders, ITI holders, or B equivalent mechanical engineer, mechanical X, Y, and Z in engineering. So the whole idea is that we take on these NEEM trainees. Not only we train them, we also see that whether we can observe them after the training is completed, because these people have then understood the technicalities of manufacturing and also understand to read the drawing and to ensure the effectiveness. So the whole scheme was started as an example in the pack center that we had. We had a lot of 40 to 50 people working in the pack center at the first one. 50, right?
Yes.
50 people, 50, working in the pack center. And I must say that opened up a complete new vision to us, saying what really can happen by having these new trainees in the pack center. Our quality improved, our downtime came down, productivity went up, absenteeism came down. Every aspect of what you look at a work spot happened. And then we realized that if this model can work at the pack center, why it cannot work at the main factory also, main factory 1 and main factory 2. So slowly we started looking at the main factory activity, and the MF2, which is the main factory which produces all the high-end products. We said this will also start slowly looking at neem. So we shifted a lot of people to neem, and we found again a drastic improvement happening there. And similarly, we are now looking at MF1 also having neem trainees at very strategic points. So we are now coming to very close to having a head count. We started at 50. I think the next graph would give a very clear example. If you show the next graph, this is how we started. We started with what, 233 people, right? But we were lower than that also before we started.
We started with
45. And now we are talking about 540. So you can see how the growth has happened, and this has happened. It is not a sudden growth, it is very gradual. If you see 370, 373, 381, so it's not like just a drop and sudden activity. You know, it's not like a magic that happened. It happened with clear thinking, understanding, and reviewing, pushing, fighting, shouting at each other, and then finally achieving the figures. 33, 81, 93, 400. This was a big landmark for us, crossing 400. We were not happy. We changed it. We said we want 500. So then again from 413, we went. Now we are at 500, and now we are talking about 540. And now we are saying after 540 what? But let us first do this, ensure we get stability, and then we look at the next step. But this has really helped us in improving the whole technical ability of the site to work on the lines. So your turn.
First of all, thank you for giving trust on me and engaging me in this process. So thank you, and thank you for doing so. So earlier we started with 2019. We started with 45 Chinese, and now we are up to. So it doesn't happen. It's all my team support, and I also thank you. Thanks. It's my pleasure to say thanks to my team also, because they helped me in achieving this target of 520. Thank you so much. And also we are currently we have implemented Sunday school training for new trainees to enhance their ability in this technical wise, and even for freshers to understand what is the process we are undergoing here. So which will make them to be clear in their process of what they have to do and everything. And also we doesn't give training, we also evaluate the training what we are giving them.
Which is a Sunday school. Basically this is to make them, also to enhance their technical knowledge, is to come to know first about what is brush making. Second is what are the things that we use in the brush making which are important, which are the crucial parameters that we should check. And we also then sit down and talk to them about theory and then the practical. Then they can actually sit down here, sit, talk, relax. This is on a Sunday when there is no pressure on work. We do this on Sunday for a couple of hours, daytime in the mornings. And this helps a lot when they come new to us, because they are coming straight from college and they are now suddenly coming into a site which is very disciplined and follows a lot of processes in place. So the understanding of that and the need for that process is very important for us to inculcate that into their whole thinking process. Because today when they come out of our diploma school or from the engineering school, they don't have any practical experience of working in a site. And when they come to the site, when they see this, it's a complete mind change. So we are now actually responsible to ensure that they look at the whole business as a process, the whole manufacturing activity as a process, and thereby change their way when they look at what they do during production. Thank you, Sindhu, very much for all the help, and all the hard work and all the firing that you did. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So this was our award ceremony. Anybody who has any questions, you can put your hand up, then I can ask Raj to open you. Otherwise, thank you very much for attending and wish you all the best. Have a nice evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.